One of the things that we always explain to our customers is when you're running a high amperage compressor, think of it as a small winch motor. It's very important to have good power coming to the compressor. A lot of people have batteries that they've had in their trucks 3, 4, 5 years. They start the truck every morning, they run their stereo, they run their headlights, it's no drama. But if you start putting a 70 to 80 amp load on that battery for 5, 10 minutes, the battery can fail and cause resistance, which doesn't give the compressor the amps and the voltage it needs. Batteries do have a life cycle. They don't last forever. Even though it'll start your truck, that's a very quick intermittent power surge. When you're asking it to do something like run for 5 to 10 or 15 minutes nonstop, where it's pulling 40 to 60, 80 amps maybe, you've got to make sure that you have a good quality battery that's fresh, that's not old, because they do sulfate, they do start to short out internally, and you'll get performance degradation out of the compressor, which can damage the motor of the compressor. The other thing that's very important is, especially for the higher amperage compressors, is a correct size cable. Probably 90% compressors get mounted up underneath the frame of a vehicle, just because today's engine compartments are so cramped, there's no room to put it under the hood. On a larger compressor, we recommend something like a 4-gauge cable. Your ground is just as important as your power. If you don't have a good ground, you're not creating the circuit that the compressor motor needs to run efficiently. So it's very important to check your ground, go down to bare metal or back to the negative of the battery. And also, you've got to remember, 3, 4 years from now, that installation you did, you've driven through water, you've driven through possibly salted roads, you get electrolysis, you get corrosion. You may want to check your grounds and make sure that they're not corroded. Always when you go to put a new ground on, you want to go to bare metal, then spray paint it, coat it to protect that from rust for in the future. But your positive and your ground, they're both equally important, so it's very important to have both of those. We found that the compressors, and all compressors, electric brushed motors, run faster with a higher voltage. So by allowing your engine to idle, you'll get 14.2 volts to the compressor versus maybe 12.5 to 12.7. So the compressor spins about 15% faster, inflates your tires faster, but it also runs cooler and uses less amps the more voltage you put into it.